Going into Saturday, Walsall and Hartlepool were already up and would fight out the title on the final day, but the last automatic spot was still open between Swindon and the MK Dons. Then 4 teams contested the final 3 playoff places: Lincoln City, Shrewsbury, Bristol Rovers and Stockport County. It didn't start well though for the MK Dons at home to Accrington Stanley, who had nothing left to play for. They fell behind before quarter of an hour had been played. David Brown, the spoiler, and the Dons needed more than that. At Sincil Bank, there was a scare too for Lincoln as Scott Kerr upended Chester's Chris Holroyd. He took the spot kick too, but was no match for Alan Marriott. That save kept Lincoln in the hunt for the playoffs. Shrewsbury were at home in Gay Meadow, possibly for the very last time unless they could secure a playoff place. Going behind to Andy Taylor's goal wasn't part of that plan. Meanwhile, first blood to Hartlepool in the title race. Joel Porter springing the offside trap. That goal, incidentally, put Bristol Rovers teetering on the brink. Their future now depended partly on Stockport County, just down the road in Darlington, and taking the initiative too. So long as Rovers didn't win, Stockport knew that a victory here would do for the playoffs. Evan Horwood was sent off for Darlington. That meant Anthony Elding was left with the spot kick. Stockport now, as things stood, in a playoff place. It got better for them too in the second half. 10-man Darlington unable to cope with the blue onslaughts. 2-0 now through David Poole. Then Swindon took the lead against Walsall. 52 minutes played and Gerald Eiffel with the header. Hartlepool's title now, if nothing changed. But it did change. Willie Bolands took out Craig Disley and Bristol Rovers had the chance to move back on terms. Richard Walker nailed the penalty, but they'd still need another to edge out Stockport. And another penalty, this time at Shrewsbury, an important one too. Ben Davis took a tumble, then after what seemed an unnecessary wait for the referee to make up his mind, the whistle blew. Davis took the ball and stuck it away. That goal moving them up to 6th as things stood. In Milton Keynes, another foul on the edge of the area, another spot kick and another equaliser. Keith Andrews' goal, though, wouldn't matter so long as Swindon was still winning. Then a horrible slip at Sincil Bank, and Chester presented Lincoln with the opening they'd been looking for. Mark Stallard finished the move off, and despite early scares, Lincoln were now ahead. Back in Darlington, the one-way traffic was relentless. Liam Dickinson got in on the act and made it 3. And no doubt spurred on by the news that Bristol Rovers were still being held, David Poole got his second of the afternoon. All for nothing, though, if Rovers could fashion a winner. Meanwhile, Shrewsbury went into the lead. Quarter of an hour remained. Kelvin Langmead headed in. And the MK Dons, too, had turned things around. They now have the lead as well. Sean O'Hanlon, the scorer, but they needed Swindon to lose. Darlington ensured that their season ended with a whimper. Stockport broke through once again. Number 5, Anthony Elding's 16th of the season. 4 minutes left, and then this in Hartlepool. Ricky Lambert's header shuffled the pack once more. As things stood now, Bristol Rovers were in the playoffs, and Walsall had the title. Lincoln were just making things sure. A congested area, a whistle for handball, and another penalty, this time for Lincoln. Jamie Forrester made it 2-0. Meanwhile, MK Dons continued their revival, even though their hopes of third spot were all but gone. Jude Sterling heading in his first goal for the club. Then Nick Fenton's late equaliser for Grimsby at Gay Meadow changed the order again, meaning that Shrewsbury would now face MK Dons in their playoff semi. But the last word went to the champions-elect, Dean Keats lashing in a fantastic goal for Walsall. To them, then, the title, and they'd done it with a dash of class at the death. A goal which will get replayed often enough at the Bescots. But on the final whistle, both sides could celebrate. Swindon and Walsall up alongside Hartlepool. From the fans, to the players, to the mascots, to the chairman and the manager.
Hey, Chairman, you need more money next year, sir. I'm saying...
I'll have that bottle of you.
OK. I'm saying so in the end...
Bristol Rovers, though, had snuck into the playoffs with just 4 minutes left from 9 months of football. Just to confirm, then, the line-up for the playoff semis. Bristol Rovers are at home to Lincoln City and Shrewsbury play the MK Dons.
So at the top of League Two, it's congratulations to Swindon and commiserations in particular to Stockport for this year at least. At the bottom, there were 3 teams still clinging to their league status coming